I'm loving it. Other than having to handwrite this because the computer is down, I am loving this report. You got that clip? Fantastic, Marvin. All right, let's do it. Good afternoon. I'm Steve S.H. Walters reporting for Breaking News 500 here in beautiful Vero Beach, Florida. Today's topic is the film GoodFellas. Now, before we get on to GoodFellas, if you haven't subscribed, folks, please take a second and subscribe. Doesn't cost you a thing, only takes a second. Hit that notification bell, and we'll keep you informed with upcoming videos. We appreciate you, and we appreciate all our loyal subscribers. Now, let's get on to GoodFellas. GoodFellas was released in 1990, directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Ray Liotta, Robert DeNiro, Joe Pesci, Paul Sorvino, and Lorraine Bracco. And it's based on the nonfiction book Wise Guys by Nicholas Pigali. Now, it's based on the true story of Henry Hill, who is rise and fall as a New York mob associate. And it's a great story and a very popular film. Now, we've got a clip that you're going to love, kind of funny, but we got to put out there viewer discretion advice because there's a lot of bad language, very strong language. I hope YouTube lets us keep it in. We might get a little edited here and there. We're just going to have to roll the clip and see what we got. Are you ready, folks? Are you ready, Marvin? All right, Marvin's ready. You're ready. I'm ready. Viewer discretion advised. All right, Marvin, roll the clip.
I know I'm rested. They pull me in, they start giving me all kinds of questions, you know, this and that. He says, so what are you going to tell us, tough guy? I said, my usual, zero, nothing. I tell you, fuck. He says, no, you're going to tell me something today, tough guy. I said, all right, I'll tell you something. Go fuck your mother. Bing, pow, boom, bing. You saw the paper, Anthony, my hair was up like this. So now I'm coming around, you know. I start to come out of it. Who do I see in front of me? This big prick again. He says, what do you want to tell me now, tough guy? I said, Bing, what are you doing here? I thought I'd tell you to go fuck your mother. I thought he was going to shit. Ow, Bing. Oh, fuck is... Bing, I wish I was big just once. You're the big cops.
Really funny. Really funny.
What do you mean I'm funny?
It's funny, you know. It's a good story. It's funny. You're a funny guy.
You mean the way I talk? What?
It's just, you know, you're just funny. It's funny, you know, the way you tell the story and everything.
Funny how? I mean, what's funny about it?
Tommy, no, you got it all wrong.
Oh, Anthony. He's a big boy. He knows what he said. What'd you say?
You're right.
Funny how? What?
Just, you know, you're funny.
You mean,
So?
let me understand this, because maybe it's me, I'm a little fucked up, maybe. But I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to fucking amuse you. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Not just, you know how you tell the story. What?
No, I don't know. You said it. How do I know? You said I'm funny. How the fuck am I funny? What the fuck is so funny about me? Tell me. Tell me what's funny.
Get the fuck out of here, Tommy.
You motherfucker. I almost had him. You stuttering prick here. Frankie, was he shaking? I wonder about you sometimes, Henry. You may fold under questioning.
Oh, you're back. Well, what do you think about that scene? What a great scene. Funny scene. Now, the real story on that scene, it wasn't part of the script. You see, what happened was, before Joe Pesci was a famous actor, he did work as a waiter. And he actually waited on a mobster who was telling a funny story. And he told the guy, you know, you're a funny storyteller, or there's a funny story. And a similar scene took place. Well, Joe Pesci tells this to Martin Scorsese, and they decided to use this in the film. Never part of the script. They used it in the film, became a famous scene. Everybody loves that scene, and really added to the movie. Now, I've got a little cheat sheet here, folks, because I got about 7 more things I want to tell you, and I don't want to forget anything. So if I have to, I'll pick up these glasses, glance at my notes, and give it to you. I know the material, I just don't want to forget anything. Now, Robert DeNiro, you know, he's a method actor. And he really gets into the characters and how this person is, how they do everything. And Henry Hill, who the movie was based on, well, he was hired as a consultant, and it was his story, so he got paid $480,000 for the rights to his story and to be a consultant on the film. And 2 weeks before they even shot anything with this film, Henry Hill was already paid. That was a pretty good gig. But De Niro had him on speed dial. You see, De Niro would call Henry Hill 7, 8 times a day to ask questions about his character, Jimmy Conway. He wanted to make sure he got this character right. You know, how did Jimmy walk? You know, how did he pour the ketchup? How did he sit at the bar? You know, he really wanted to know this character. Probably drove Henry Hill a little crazy, but that was part of his job, to give him that information and help him out with this part. Now, along with that, De Niro kept $5,000 cash of his own money in his own pockets. Well, of course, they were his pockets, but he wanted to have that money on hand to feel the part of the character, Jimmy Conway, and also to use in scenes for GoodFellas. I thought that was pretty interesting. And they actually had real mobsters in the background. Some of these mobsters were sitting at the bar like Michael Francis. Now, most of these mobsters have passed away, and I believe Michael Francis is the only one still alive, and he's doing very well. He's got his own YouTube channel, which is a huge success, and he's living the right life. So very interesting. He's done some reports about this film also, and his take on it, actually being a mobster and what he thinks about the film. And what I got was most of the mobsters really thought they did a good job with this film, and it was pretty accurate. So most of them were pretty pleased with the making of GoodFellas. Now, it is Henry Hill's story, and he was a mob associate, so there's a lot of truth to this film. Now I'm going to get my cheat sheet, or my glasses, just for a second. All right, I think I'm good to go, folks. Now, there was only one award for the actors in this film, and that was Best Supporting Actor, and that went to Joe Pesci. Now, Joe Pesci, you know, had this scene where he was always cussing, you know, using the F word, F-bombs, or what have you. And when he got his award, the audience and the people at the award ceremony was a little worried about him on stage giving his speech. But he just simply went up there and said, "It was my privilege. Thank you." I think everybody was relieved from that. Because you see on the script, they had 100 F-bombs written in the script. But you heard about movies going over budget? Well, they went over F-bombs because they had about 300 that was used in this film. And at that time, it was the record of F-bombs in a movie. And Billy Batts, who was killed in the film and was stabbed 7 times, well, they had that test viewing of the film. The audience, half the audience was leaving. They were walking out. It was too brutal. They couldn't handle it. So Martin Scorsese cut it back to only 4 stabbings, and they left it in. A little less brutal, only 4 stabbings. And Martin Scorsese's mom had a big part in one scene in the kitchen in the film. She played Tommy's mother. And she didn't really have to learn her lines or anything because most of that entire scene was ad-libbed. And they all did a great job with that scene. Now, I think I gave you pretty much everything I wanted to. Yeah, I think I covered a good deal here. Now what we've got for you folks is a special deal on famous quotes from the film. I'm not going to give you critic reviews. Most of the critics loved the film and gave it great praise. We'll just let it go at that. We're going to give you some famous quotes. So now I'm going to put my glasses on because everything's handwritten because the computer's down until it gets back up again. Okay, Marvin, you know what I'm going to ask for? Drum roll, please. Thank you, Marvin. All right, folks. Famous quotes from the film GoodFellas. And I'm going to give you the name of the actual person or the character of the person who played the part. Tommy DeVito said, this from the scene that you just saw, "Funny how? Like I'm a clown, I amuse you, I make you laugh. I'm here to effing amuse you." Tommy DeVito. And Karen Hill said, "I know there are women like my best friends who would have got up and ran the minute their boyfriend asked them to hide a gun. I didn't. I have to admit the truth. It turned me on." And Henry Hill said, and this was after he was in witness protection, he says, "I'm an average nobody. I get to live the rest of my life like a schnook." And Billy Batts said to Joe Pesci in the scene in the bar, before he was killed, obviously, Now go home and get your effing shoe shine box. I thought that was pretty good. And Henry Hill also said, to me, being a gangster was better than being the President of the United States. What a great, memorable film. Very good mafia film. And you can see it on YouTube, Amazon, a few other places. It's just a great film with tons of, accolades. And it's a classic. It's become a classic. Put down in your comments your favorite scene. What do you think about the movie? What did you really enjoy about the film? Did you have any mob experiences? Did you ever work for a mobster? I actually worked for a mob-connected guy. I won't give you his name. But when I was a bartender back in LA, I worked for a guy that owned casinos in Las Vegas. He's a mobster, and me and him got along just great. We got along just fine. I never asked him about his business. I just went to my job and did my job. And we got along great. And to me, he was aces. Well, that was one mobster that I knew, but I'm not going to give you his name. All right, folks. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this report. I'm Steve S.H. Walters reporting for Breaking News 500. Have a great day.